Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to go to the very back of your notes. So flip over to where you got some blank space. And I apologize, but when I printed off your notes, I was in a rush, and I wanted to modify this section, only I didn't have time because I was pressed for time that day, and also I could only find it in a PDF. I couldn't find the Word document, and so I was like, well, we'll just make stuff up as we go, and that's part of being a teacher. You just get to do some days. So what we want to do is we want to take things that are in standard form, which is what we learned on Friday. We want to place them into vertex form. You may say for a second that you don't like what we're doing or it doesn't click for you. You need to get today, because if you don't get today, this is a significant portion of the test. And furthermore, you do this second semester a lot. And if we can't convince ourselves of it today, it'll be a long road ahead of us. So we want to put y equals x squared minus 6x minus 2 into this form. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. All right? So I'm going to do something right away that you might want to resist, but you need to find a way to like it. All right? So what I'm going to do is I realize that this equation up here has a completed square, meaning it's a perfect square. X squared minus 6x minus 2 is not a perfect square. Does anybody know, instead of a minus 2, what I would have if it truly was a perfect square? Not a 36, but a 9, right? 9 would be the perfect square, because then it would factor to x minus 3 times x minus 3, right? So we've completed the square in this class, and you've completed it in other classes, correct? So we move forward with completing the square here. Only it's a little bit different, because before you always had it equal to 0. Well, it's not equal to 0 now. It's equal to y. So that changes things a little bit. There's about 5 different ways to complete the square for this type of problem. I'm going to choose the one that I like the most. If you don't like it, see me after school and we can talk about all the other ways, okay? So here we go. You told me, what number would you add into here to complete the square? Oh no, I just added 9 to one side. It is so heavy, I can hardly lift it up. What should I do? But I don't want to. Because, think about it, folks. If I were to add a 9 to the other side, what would I eventually do? I would just... So instead of subtracting it or adding it over there, I'm just going to write a minus 9 over here. It's not pointless. Look at it right now, though, and convince yourself that I've maintained equality. Right? Oh, sorry. Okay. Thank you. So I've maintained equality, correct? I haven't messed anything up. Adding 9 and subtracting 9 on the same side is just 0. But I can now write it the way that I want to, which is, that is a perfect square, isn't it? So it's x minus quantity squared. And then what's negative 2 and negative 9? So therefore, the vertex is what? What's the horizontal shift? What's the vertical shift? There you go. So remember how we did negative b divided by 2a on Friday? Why are you laughing? Because when you laugh, I wonder if I have a booger or something. Okay. Is my fly down? Is my shirt unbuttoned? Oh, right here? Oh, goodness. That's it? Wow. God. And now you guys wonder why we worry about you guys going off to college. Okay, is it better? Right here? Okay, hold on. Okay. Are we okay, Megan? So, all right, hold on. Hey, Dylan, what do we do about this? They ate a bowl of stupid for breakfast, and now they take it all on me. I don't get it. All right, we'll move on. We'll let the shirt be, and we'll see if you guys can handle it. So here we go. Let's try number 2. X squared plus 10x minus 1. Y equals x squared plus 10x, and what I will do is I'll write the minus 1 over here. So instead of doing negative b divided by 2a, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to complete the square. What number do you add to complete the square? Oh no, I'm out of balance. Whoop. So therefore, I can either add 25 to the other side, or I can subtract 25 from the same side. And therefore, I have y is equal to x plus 5, that quantity squared, minus 26. Therefore, my vertex is, there you go. Not too bad, huh? So why don't you guys try one on your own? Yes. You guys try that one. Ready, set, go. Oh, I just take it from him. All right. Here we go. What did you do? So add 1 minus 1. Vertex of 1, 1. Okay, let's try one that's more difficult. Negative x squared. What to do with a negative? We will factor out a negative, and you might have a problem with this. You need to reconcile this in your brain and make sure you're okay with it. But I'm going to factor a negative out of the first two, but not out of the last one. And there's a lot of people that look at that, they say, well, that's totally illegal. You can't do that. And, well, it is legal, and you've done it many times before. For example, if I give you x to the third plus 4x squared minus 2x minus 8, you would solve this by grouping, wouldn't you? If that was equal to 0. And what you would do is you would do plus minus, you put parentheses here, you put parentheses there, and you would take a 4x out of there and a negative 2 out of there. I mean, you just decided where you wanted to group your stuff and go from there. So this is legal. There's nothing wrong with this. What's the actual value of that x squared? Is that actually positive or is it negative? It's negative because of the negative up front. Is this a positive 5x or a negative 5x? Okay, so what number do I add to complete the square? I take this number, I divide by 2, then I square it to get 25 over 4. 5 divided by 2 is 5 over 2, and then square it, 25 over 4. Now, I added the 25 over 4 there, so you want to subtract 25 over 4 over there. No. What's the true value? What's the true value of that 25 over 4? Is it positive or negative? It's negative due to the subtraction sign out here. So therefore, this you just subtracted 25 over 4. So you need to add 25 over 4. You have to look at what the actual value is once you were to distribute everything through. So now I have y is equal to negative x what? minus 5 halves, quantity squared. And then 3 is like 12 over 4. So negative 12 over 4 plus 25 over 4 is 13 over 4. So your vertex is? A lot of people during third hour were concerned about this negative sign out front. They're like, well, doesn't that change the vertex? No. We just came out of that unit, didn't we? Where we were showing the horizontal and vertical shifts. What does the negative do? What effect does it have on the graph? Vertical flip. So that's all it does. It doesn't change the shift. Okay. A couple more, and then we'll get to the rest of our notes. So you try this one on your own, okay? You will not test this week or next week in this class. Vertex, negative 3 halves, 5 over 4. Get it? Okay, and last type of example. I would say this is one of the more challenging examples that you would have for completing the square and putting in vertex form. This is what you're going to have to do on the test. And for anybody who says, well, I know how to do negative b divided by 2a, so that's all I need to know how to do. I'm going to be asking you to place it into vertex form because there's other things that are much more complicated that we get to other than parabolas that involve completing the square second semester. So you have to know how to do this skill. You can't just say, well, I know negative b over 2a, so I'm good to go. It doesn't work like that. So I got y is equal to, I'm going to factor out a negative 2. Not just a negative, but negative 2. I don't want anything in front of that x squared. Got negative 2 times x squared. It's going to be a minus 7x. And I'll put the minus 3 over there. What number do I add to complete the square? What's the true value of that 49 over 4? Negative what? Negative 49 over 2. Right? If you take negative 2 over 1 times 49 over 4, you can see that the 2 and 4 reduce to give you negative 49 over 2. Well, you told me before that the negative changed that to a negative value, right? Well, the 2 changes that value as well. So it's what would it be when you distributed the 2 back through? Yep, so because I've actually subtracted 49 halves, I need to add 49 halves. That will be 6 halves. This? Nope. Not, nope, no, dumb question. Negative 2 times x minus what? 7 over 2 quantity squared, and then negative 6 halves and 49 halves make plus 43 halves. So your vertex is yeah. There you go. Better? You're gonna need practice with it, aren't you? Okay, so flip to your notes and let's do the 2 problems there, and then we'll be done. Okay, on your assignment is going to say to place the function into standard form. Disregard that direction because standard form is what we did on Friday. The book and myself and many other people use different terminology. The book chooses to call what we're doing today standard form. I call it vertex form. And the fact is, a lot of people call it vertex form. Okay? Standard form is what we did Friday. So when the directions say today to place in standard form, disregard that and do what we are doing. So I rewrote it to be negative x squared plus 4x. What do I do first? What's the first thing? Negative, so I got x squared minus 4x. What do you add to complete the square? 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2, squared is 4. What's the true value of that 4? So I need to add 4. F of x is equal to negative quantity x minus 2 squared plus 4. What's the vertex? 2, 4. The directions say express the quadratic function in vertex form, which I did. B, sketch its graph, which is what I'm doing right now. Let's go up or down? Down because it's negative. And finally, find its maximum or minimum value. Does it have a maximum value or minimum value? Max of 4. Good. F of x is x squared minus 3x minus 1. What number do I add to complete the square? 9/4. So I get f of x is equal to quantity x minus 3/2 squared. So negative 4/4 and positive 9/4 makes positive 5/4. Oh, whoops. Thank you. Yep, if I added 9/4, I should subtract 9/4. So we have a minus 13/4. So my vertex is? And is the direction up or down? What's that location? I mean, how do I graph a fraction? What is it as a decimal? What's 3/2 as a decimal? 1.5, and what's negative 13/4? Negative 3.25? Max or min? Min of? That's fine. Either way is fine. Okay, new skill, right? So this unit, not everything is reviewed. There's a lot of new pieces involved. So you don't have a lot of time for your assignment, but you are going to have a lot of work time tomorrow. There you go.